Hey friends, my name is George Gianaris. I'm a chef for 35 years, and if you're here, it's because you like to eat healthy, save money, and cook like a pro. And today I'm going to teach you how to make the best turkey you've ever had in your life. It's going to be the juiciest turkey, the most delicious turkey, but most importantly, it's going to be the safest way to cook a turkey that you can possibly cook a turkey. This video is a re-release. It's how I cook my turkey for my customers. It's how I cook my turkey for my home, and it's how you should cook your turkey this Thanksgiving. And if you click that link above, it's also available down below. You will also learn how to make the most delicious gravy and the most delicious sides for your Thanksgiving dinner. I want to thank you for watching. Have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the show. According to the health department, based on the way we treat Thanksgiving dinner, we should all be dead the next day. So here's how a typical Thanksgiving dinner preparation goes. The bird is big and usually it's frozen. You think it'll probably take a day or two to defrost in the fridge, but in reality, it takes more like 3 to 4 days. So Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, you give that bird a poke and it's still pretty frozen. And now you panic. Take it out of the fridge and go to leave it in the sink, and then you think, wait, I'm gonna need that sink. And in the morning around 7 a.m., you take it out of the tub where it's just a bit cooler than room temperature. You dress it and pack it in with grandma's stuffing recipe and let it sit on that counter some more because you did the math. And we're not gonna eat the bird until 2 p.m. It's gotta rest, we gotta carve it, so we're gonna put it in the oven at around 9:30 in the morning. The bird is a nice toasty room temperature as you put it in that oven. 3 hours go by and bonus, the bird's popper popped out a half hour early. At noon, out it goes, and it smells great. So you rest it on the counter. At 2 o'clock, when you're just about ready to serve, everybody's still full from the appetizers and nobody's ready to sit down and eat a big meal yet. So you wait, and about 2 hours later, you carve that turkey. 4 o'clock, the table is set and you dig into a slightly above room temperature bird. Everybody fills their plates, but there's still a lot of turkey left. No worries, we'll be eating turkey leftovers all week. This year, you got smart. You bought restaurant-style containers so that everyone could take home the extras. But those containers are big, and they really don't fit in the fridge. So, we'll just set those containers in the back room by the door so nobody will forget to take them home. About 2 hours later, it's time to say goodbye to those lovely family members. You wave to them as they get in their cars and make their way back home, which is usually 2 hours away. Now, if a health inspector saw me prepare and serve a turkey this way, I would be shut down immediately. The health department has established very strict guidelines for us restaurant professionals regarding cooking methods, cooking temperatures, and safe food holding temperatures. Actually, these requirements were set in place for NASA by Pillsbury. Yes, the canned dinner roll company with the cute doughboy on the package. The process is known as HACCP, Hazard Analysis and Critical Control Point. See, it was a foolproof method of keeping astronauts in space from getting food poisoning. It's the protocol we strictly adhere to, and it's what keeps us from getting you sick when you dine out. And that's why I'm gonna teach you today how to cook a delicious Thanksgiving turkey the right way, like a professional. There are 5 parts to making the perfect turkey safely. Keeping the turkey below 41 degrees and above 32 degrees before cooking it. You prep it with the right seasonings. You cook it to the right internal temperature. And you keep it hot and moist until it's served. You rapidly cool the leftovers so you can spend Black Friday shopping instead of on the toilet. You need to walk away from this video with 3 crucial numbers. In the HACCP process, there are a lot of important numbers. The 3 you need to know are 41, 140, and 165. When you need to store food in a cold environment, the temperature has to be at 41 degrees or below, like in your refrigerator. Like there's variations for like smoked salmon, it should be 38, but don't worry about that right now. These temperatures are all Fahrenheit. If you buy a frozen bird, depending on how big it is, it could take up to 4 days to thaw in the refrigerator. So my advice to you would be to put it in the refrigerator on Sunday morning. If for some reason you have to thaw it faster than 3 to 4 days, it has to happen under cool running water, and the water has to be 70 degrees or less. Not hot water, and not in a bath with no running water. I know you might be tempted to do this because you're in a rush, but never attempt to cook a frozen bird. Similarly, when you need to keep food hot, it has to be at 140 degrees or above. Now, poultry products have a particularly nasty bacteria in them called salmonella. Now, you see this giant hole in the turkey? God put it there so that the heat would circulate inside of the turkey and make it cook evenly. So what do? We try to jam in as much stuff as we can in there, blocking any heat from permeating throughout the turkey, really increasing the odds of killing ourselves on Thanksgiving. The stuffing makes it hard for the inside temperature of the bird to reach that magic 165 degrees. And that little red dot on the turkey, it's an insurance policy. When that thing pops, your turkey is safe to eat, but basically borderline inedible. It will most likely be overcooked. The ideal way to cook a turkey is to bring it to a temperature of 160 degrees. Then you want to let the turkey come up to temperature naturally to 165 degrees. And the way you do that is by checking it constantly with a properly calibrated thermometer. The temperature of the turkey should go up 5 degrees as it is resting. Now I have a confession to make. Up until about 3 years ago, I hated turkey, except the smoked drumsticks in Disney World. I love them. In the past, I tried brining the turkey and that turned out better, but the turkey drippings became too salty and they ruined the best part of the turkey, which is the gravy, because in order to compensate for the salt, you would have to add more liquid to it, and that kind of takes away the whole beauty of the natural flavor of the drippings. And why do we deep fry a turkey? What are we actually really trying to do? We're trying to make one of the leanest meats on the planet juicy, buttery, and savory. But when it's done improperly, because guys never gather around the flaming pit of oil drinking beers, that fried bird becomes the culprit of many destroyed garages and eyebrows. What you need is slow, low, and sealed. It's the best way to cook a turkey. If you're gonna cook the turkey in an oven, you need a roasting pan. I have a giant roasting pan at work, and thank God I measured the roasting pan because it was industrial sized and there was no way it was gonna fit in my oven. So I went on Amazon and I was looking to buy a stainless steel roasting pan and turkey rack, and they're not cheap. And while I was searching, I came across this. It got great reviews. It was about $100 cheaper than a quality roasting pan and rack, and there's a link down below. But it did something very important. It solved step number 4. Keep the turkey hot and moist until it's ready to serve. So if you're gonna use an oven to cook your turkey, you're gonna need to provide a space for keeping your turkey at or above 140 degrees until you serve it. Another alternative is a chafing pan. You just light up the sternals, bring the water in the water pan to a boil, and boom, you're ready to go. Now the commercial way to do it is with what is known as a Cambro unit. So Cambros are the industry standard for caterers. The beautiful thing about these units is that they keep the food at the temperature they are when you put them in the box for many hours. If you entertain a lot and are always looking for a place to keep food hot, they are a godsend. Now, I have never cooked in one of these slow roasters. This will be my first time. But if it works, this is an answer to turkey prayer. So you want to wipe down the turkey with lemon all over, and then you're not going to throw this lemon out. You're going to actually stick this inside of the turkey. Really, those are the only 3 spices that we're going to add to this turkey. Granulated garlic, sage, and black pepper. Now you want to peel back the skin a little bit on the turkey, and you're going to get your hand in there and basically pry the skin away from the meat as far as you can. It kind of traps the butter in between the turkey and the skin, so this way, as the turkey is cooking, it surrounds the meat rather than leak off the turkey onto the bottom of the pan. And don't get me wrong, the butter is going to eventually make its way down to the bottom of the pan, which is going to give us an amazing gravy. You're going to want to season the turkey liberally, but you don't want to put too much salt because it will actually make the gravy very, very salty. The general rule of thumb that I use, and I use Celtic sea salt, about a tablespoon and a half for every 4 pounds. You can do about 4 tablespoons of granulated organic garlic and about 3 tablespoons of sage inside there as well. Now, you can cook this turkey in the oven, and if you have a roasting pan with a lid, great. If you don't, you're gonna put the turkey in the roasting pan and cover it tightly with foil. You're gonna try to set your oven to 180 degrees. Most ovens will allow you to go as low as 180 degrees. Here I have just your basic celery, onion, carrot mixture. They're gonna really add a lot of flavor to my gravy. Also, take some of the onions and put them inside of the turkey. Maybe even a couple pieces of celery, that's okay. Basically, you don't want to jam the inside of the turkey with stuffing that creates a giant block or barrier. Let's season up these vegetables a little bit with some more garlic powder and a little bit more pepper. So we'll take our rack and put it in here. It's got these nice little handles, so it's gonna help us get our turkey out of there. And we're going to put this in here. Ready to go. I'm gonna add some pepper to the outside of this turkey, a little bit more. Say for this whole dish, maybe about 2 teaspoons of black pepper. You have to put the probe somewhere where it's going to be dead center in the thickest part of the turkey. Well, it turns out that 180 is pretty much a little bit above 175, which is great. So we're just gonna leave it right there. This took a little over 7.5 hours to hit 150 degrees. Now we're gonna set the temperature to 160. Then we're going to set this temperature all the way up to 450 to darken the bird. Okay, so it did make it to 160. It only took a couple minutes for that to happen. And I just turned it off. We're just gonna wait for that to go up to 165 by itself. Let's see how long that takes. 8 hours and 14 minutes so far. Let's see how long it takes for it to reach 165 without any heat. So let's take a look and see here. This took about 15-20 minutes. I'm not ready to serve this turkey yet, so I just want to leave it on the side while I gather all these precious drippings, because that's going to be our gravy. Okay, that was painless. Beautiful. Oh, fantastic. Cool. I'm gonna take some of these beautiful carrots and put them all the way around. This turkey was prepared perfectly, but more importantly, it's 100% safe. What I'm gonna do now is carve it up, and I'm gonna put it back in that roaster oven, keep it on warm. And you can leave it there for hours and be confident that no one is gonna get sick. And the only other thing is whatever leftovers you have, please make sure you put them in the refrigerator and not by the front door. Don't forget to go to the website because all the recipes are there, and have a happy Thanksgiving.